Coming out of college, Will Levis was a controversial prospect. He was touted as a guy with a strong arm that had a high ceiling but a very low floor. Will Levis had a senior season at Kentucky, threw for 2,406 yards, 19 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, with a completion percentage of 65.4. The concerns were there early. Before he transferred to Kentucky, Will Levis spent 2 years at Penn State, where he lost the starting job to Sean Clifford, who is now on the Packers practice squad and has thrown his way out of a starting roster position. Even with these concerns in the rearview mirror, the Titans selected Will Levis with the 33rd pick of the 2023 NFL Draft. Will Levis' rookie season was filled with a lot of ups and downs. Will Levis finished the season with a completion percentage of 58.4, throwing for 1,808 yards and 8 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, with a quarterback rating of 84.2. The elite arm talent flashed throughout the season. He made some jaw-dropping plays, and the Titans elected to keep Will Levis on the roster instead of Malik Willis, who would be traded to the Packers and has succeeded since leaving Tennessee. Coming into 2024, there was high hopes for Will Levis. Will Levis last season flashed that elite arm talent, but really hadn't put it all together. However, this season, Will Levis has underperformed. In 4 games, he's completing 68.4% of his passes for only 604 yards and 4 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, leading the league. He's also taken 15 sacks through 4 weeks, with an astonishing 8 versus the Green Bay Packers. I'm here to answer the question, what should the Titans do with Will Levis? The Titans picked up their first win this Monday against the Miami Dolphins, led by Tyler Huntley, winning 31-12. But Will Levis got injured very early in this game, only throwing 3 of 4 passes for 25 yards and 1 interception. Mason Rudolph then came in the game, completed 9 of 17 for 84 yards and no touchdowns to no interceptions. There's a clear lack of leadership in the Titans organization, with head coach Brian Callahan already being on the hot seat because of the Titans' lack of success. So today, I would like to look at some of the mishaps of Will Levis, look at some of the interceptions he's thrown, look at some of the sacks he's taken, and really answer the question, should the Titans move on from Will Levis? Is this a situation where they need to bench him, let him think about what he's doing, and reevaluate himself? Or is this a situation where they should move on altogether and start Mason Rudolph, in hopes of drafting a quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft? If you look at the chart that I'm putting on the screen right now, it's EPA per play. If you're not familiar, I recommend you look it up. It's one of the best advanced football metrics you can ever use to determine how good a team is. It takes out a lot of the fluff and really breaks down a team on its real advanced statistics and how good they are. And as we can see, the Titans are dead last in drop back efficiency. So that's when they drop back into the pocket and try to pass the ball, obviously. Whether that's on the O-line not protecting enough or Will Levis's poor play, or most likely a combination of both. Something obviously needs to change here. If you're still a Will Levis believer, one thing you can point to is the abysmal O-line play. We look across the board, Peter Skoronski is one of the worst pass-blocking offensive guards in the league. Nicholas Petit-Frere is arguably the worst tackle in the league. J.C. Latham's a rookie and is still figuring some things out. And overall, he has no protection. Like I said, the Titans offensive line allowed 8 sacks versus the Packers in week 3. And here we start the game very early against the Dolphins, and we see an early sack again. So we're going to be watching Jalen Phillips, who is a really good player, to be fair. He came off, I believe it was an ACL tear from last year, and he's going to be going against 78 here, who is Nicholas Petit-Frere, who, in my opinion, is the worst tackle in football. And look at what he does to him here. We get pressure from both sides because the other end, who I believe is Emmanuel Agba, is going against the tight end Chigakonkwa. Some hard names here, excuse me. So we're going to see Jalen Phillips hit Nicholas Petit-Frere here with one of the nastiest little swipe moves you'll ever see. So coming off the ball, very narrow stance for Frere, and he just swipes his arms off. He's on his knees. And what are you supposed to do here if you're Will Levis? You look at the scheme. You got Jalen Ramsey on this outside receiver here. This is clearly a corner shot deep concept. And he's throwing here, and he's got Jalen Phillips on his knees. And at this point, I guess he does have room to make this throw, and he does miss this throw. So you could put some of the criticism here on Will Levis, but This is the pressure that he deals with. He gets no time here. And Nicholas Petit-Frere is awful. He is so bad, and I do not get how he's starting on an NFL football team right now. Now that we created a proper excuse for Will Levis, let's look at an inexcusable throw here. So what we're going to see here is a very interesting interception. On the sidelines, people lip read Will Levis, and he said, I didn't see him at all. But the thing is, everyone else saw it. So what we're going to see here is defensive end Emmanuel Agba drop back into coverage, and there's going to be a quick hitch here to DeAndre Hopkins. And Will Levis is going to stare this route down the whole time. And as we can see, let's look at Will Levis's eyes here. Never goes off this read right here. And Emmanuel Agba is right here. Like, fast forward a little more, he's in his throwing motion. The ball is intended to go here. He's looking straight at DeAndre Hopkins. How does he not see Emmanuel Agba right here? And he throws it straight to him. It's ridiculous. How do you not see this? Like, you're staring down this route, which is already a cardinal sin if you're a quarterback. You can't stare down your first read. That just keys the linebackers and the safeties and defensive backs to jump it. And Emmanuel Agba doesn't even make some mind-blowing play. He just drops back into his zone, and Will Levis gives him the easiest interception of his life that he actually almost drops, but he luckily doesn't for his sake. But geez, what an abysmal play here by Will Levis. Didn't see it. You're looking at it the whole time. I just don't get it. Let's look at it from the second angle. This won't change much. It still is awful, but as we're going to see Emmanuel Agba drop back and intercept the ball. Not much here to take away. I just want to show you guys the second angle because there's no pressure here. As you can see, this defensive back, I think that's Jalen Ramsey actually, is coming off the edge, but it's well picked up by Tony Pollard. And yeah, he throws it straight to Emmanuel Agba. I don't get it at all. He's staring directly at him. All right, let's look at a play against the Packers. Obviously, Will Levis got injured after that, diving for a first down, and hopefully he makes a swift recovery. I don't know if the Titans will start him when he comes back or they'll elect for Mason Rudolph, who played solid against the Dolphins. He didn't do anything mind-blowing, but he also didn't make the critical mistakes that Will Levis has in the first few games. So here we're going to see DeAndre Hopkins versus Jair Alexander, which is a pretty fun matchup. DeAndre Hopkins is nearing the end of his career. Jair Alexander obviously has dealt with some injury issues over the past few years, but still is one of the most elite corners in the NFL. We're going to see Will Levis just stare this down the whole time, just as he did with the Emmanuel Agba pick. And it's going to be another interception on a jump route. As we can see, it's his first read clearly. He predetermines this. He drops back, takes one hitch, and instantly is throwing this ball, whether it's open or not. And Jair Alexander just sits on this. And obviously he jumps it. It's a bad ball in the first place because he doesn't lead him outside at all. It's super inside. Jair Alexander jumps the pass, and it's the easiest pick six of his life. Threw it straight to him, like again. Turnovers, like I said, have been a huge issue with Will Levis. He leads the NFL, tied with Anthony Richardson in interceptions right now, and he has a fumble on the season. He really needs to figure this out because if he wants a chance to start, he needs to cut down on these turnovers. Let's look at Will Levis's second interception again. So he's going to be throwing a 9 route here against Jair Alexander again, and it's going to be a really well-covered route here. So what we're going to see at the bottom of the screen, like I said, simple streak if you want to call it, if you're more familiar with Madden. And what we're going to see here is actually an incredible play by Xavier McKinney, who's right here at this point. He's going to come over here and pick this ball off. I do believe Xavier McKinney is the best safety in the NFL as of right now. So I think this is more of a good play than a bad play by Will Levis, but it is not a great play. We're going to see Xavier McKinney run over here, and this is late in the fourth quarter, so this is like a must-win situation. It already was pretty much over at this point. This was more a desperation heave here, and Xavier McKinney gets over the top and picks it off. Like I said, incredible play by Xavier McKinney. Take nothing away from that, but even if Xavier McKinney's not there, this is not open. Jair Alexander has a chance to pick this off if Xavier McKinney doesn't. I don't even know if Kelvin Ridley is looking for the ball at this point. And Xavier McKinney just jumps over him and takes it away. Great play by Xavier McKinney. Context is extremely important for this clip. So the down and distance is around 4th and 2. This is a game early in the game where the Titans were still in the game, and this is a must-get 4th down conversion here. And let's see what Will Levis does here. So Will Levis is going to take the snap. It's a fake run because the Packers are loading the box, and he's going to roll out to the bottom-hand side of the screen. So we're going to see, like you said, fake run, and you got the check down here that could possibly get the first down if you throw it now. As you can see, this linebacker is kind of shuffling his feet to cover the quarterback run as well. So this is open. If he throws this here, he's going to get that first down if he hits him in stride. But instead, Will Levis elects to run this football himself. And Quay Walker and Isaiah McDuffie collide at a yard short of the fourth down marker. This is awful by Will Levis. This is so bad. You could throw it here too. It's open. It's open this entire time. He's actually at the sticks physically now. But I believe he is past the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage at this point. But Will Levis just elects to run it, and he gets pile drive midair, and he is clearly upset about it because it's a terrible play. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know what in his brain told him that this was the play to be made here. All right, let's end the Will Levis believers with some hope here. I really like Will Levis as a person. His Mayo commercial is hilarious. If this video gets 100 likes, I'll buy the Mayo mayonnaise cologne. I know it's not gonna get 100 likes is the only issue, but I will buy the Mayo cologne if this video gets 100 likes and Will Levis comments on the video as well. Those are the necessities for me to buy the Mayo cologne. But here we're going to see Will Levis step up in the pocket, make a really nice throw. So we're going to get some pressure here from the interior and the blitzing nickel. So it's actually not terribly picked up here by the Titans, as we can see. There's some push from the pocket here. Peter Skoronski gets pushed off his spot, and this nickel gets around, obviously. Will Levis steps up in the pocket, and it's a really good way to evade the rush, and he's going to be hitting this receiver over the middle. Really nice play here from Will Levis. Let's watch it one more time. See pressure from the middle, steps up right through that little spot where the lane's there, and makes a good throw. Really impressive here from Will Levis. And if you believe in Will Levis, you really point to the arm talent. The arm talent is still there, and it obviously never left, because why would it? But his decision making has been kind of poor over the last few weeks, but I am rooting for the guy to really figure out and find his niche in this Titans offense, because the Titans are really struggling. Overall, do I think it's over for Will Levis? I'll say no. I would like to see him return from this injury and reevaluate his style of play. Hopefully we can see him be less careless with the ball, stop those turnovers. 6 interceptions is too much through 3 games and a quarter. Obviously, he needs to work on his mechanics. The arm talent is still there, but he's really just making bad decisions in the pocket and when he's pressured. The Titans' O-line is terrible, and the franchise in a whole is dysfunctional right now. So if you want to put on the franchise, I wouldn't blame you at all. I would like to see Will Levis succeed as much as the next guy. Overall, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate all you guys.